Hello, Louisville. I'm JP.
And I'm AC.
This is Cardinal Paradise. Let's get right to it, AC.
All right.
All right, so for the last several episodes, I've been talking about turnovers and penalties.
Yes.
And what happens when you play good teams?
You can't do it.
Nope. So 3 turnovers, 11 penalties, playing Clemson at Clemson.
Bit us in the butt.
It did, finally. I hate it. I know you hate it. It's disappointing. I wish we could clean some of that stuff up.
Yeah.
But you know what? That was a very loud crowd. It was a great atmosphere. They're great fans.
A lot of young guys in difficult situations. So, you know, it is what it is.
That's right. That's right. And a lot of those guys weren't playing 2 years ago when we played there.
That's right.
Not quite the matchup that it was 2 years ago, because this was a top 5 matchup this year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
a whole different ball game, really. And you know what? But Louisville still played well. The penalties, Clemson's crowd caused a lot of false starts early, but Louisville settled down really well.
Yeah, I mean, we made some adjustments. The offside penalties were early. We made some adjustments. Bobby made some adjustments. We got behind early. We made some real bonehead plays, but we were able to, do what we need to do to make that comeback.
I was really surprised because they had 5 turnovers, and they still won the game. Most of the time, if you have more than 3 or 4 turnovers, 4 at the max, you're going to lose the game. They had 5. Now, of course, we offset that because we had 3, so it's a net 2 in our favor. But
they scored on each one of theirs.
They did. They did. I think they did get 21 points off our turnovers, and that was a little bit different than we got with them. But and I'm not pinning it on any one particular play. The kickoff return really hurt because we had the momentum. We had the lead by 8. We had the momentum, and that really kind of swung the momentum back in their favor.
And we were able to, over the past few weeks, we were able to control the big play. They had some big plays, and the turnovers coupled with their big plays, we just couldn't overcome it.
No, and that's okay. I mean, it's not a bad loss. It's a good loss. I mean, I think if you listen to most of the experts talk about the college football week, and weekend that was, Louisville was right in the discussion about shouldn't hang their heads because it was a great game. It wasn't a good game for us because it was a loss, but it was still a great game.
Yeah. In the past, everybody would have said, "Hey, that's Louisville. They had a chance. Now let's put them on the back burner." But it's not like that no more. So we've come a long way.
And Clemson has a great defense, but we still had 568 yards in total offense. So not even Clemson's been able to stop our offense. We lost 42-36. 6 points is not that big of a deal. Lamar had 295 yards passing, but he had 162 yards rushing. So Lamar didn't do anything to hurt his Heisman Trophy status.
I think he'll collect the statue at the end of the year, though.
I hope. The guy's a phenom. I mean, he really is a phenom. And I'm glad that he's on our team. He's only a sophomore. So, moving forward, we'll see what happens. B-Rad has been having, a great season. He only had 69 yards rushing this game, but still he had some big plays. He had some big runs. And, everybody played well in this game. It was a matchup of 2 top 5 teams, and unfortunately, we just came out on the short end of the stick.
Yeah, the last one to score was going to win that game, and unfortunately...
Well, I think you might have said that last week. The last one the team that has the ball last is going to win it, and that's exactly what happened. Well, the team that scores last is going to win because we had the ball last. But
that's right.
But like I said, Lamar had another good game. We had a lot of receiving yards. A lot of catches, a lot of rushing yards too. We had 273 yards rushing. So, like I said, they did it on both. They did it on.
It was balanced.
It was balanced. That's the word I'm looking for.
Balanced.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
It was balanced. And we got off a ton of plays. We ran almost 100 plays in that game, and that's what stinks too. Is because when they got that kickoff return, they had a short field, and they got to put their defense got a little bit of time to rest. But it just stinks because if we could have held them there and maybe our defense was playing well, and we could have had their defense play against us a few more series, it would have been great.
Oh, yeah.
But because you could see they were a little bit gassed, but doggone it. Couple plays here and there, and that can change the game.
Yeah,
and that's
we
what
were
did
close.
there.
We were close.
We was. So, game balls this week, I'm going to go with Josh Harvey Clemens. Josh was really starting to play well. He had 11 tackles, and that's what you want to see. I mean, actually, you don't want to see – well, Josh is kind of playing like a little linebacker.
They move him around a lot.
They do.
know.
So I can see why he's got 11 tackles. Normally, you wouldn't want your safeties or your corners getting 11 tackles, but Josh has been kind of playing up almost as a hybrid linebacker.
Oh, yeah.
So 11 tackles for Josh. I think Josh deserves my game ball, my player of the game there. Who do you think?
Of course, Jair Alexander, 2 picks, national TV, he's up for all kind of awards now. So he's, that kid has really had an All-American year so far. And we've got more than half the season left. So, I mean, he is doing his thing. So Jair Alexander, he's my pick for
player of the game.
Player of the game.
So he's a sophomore. Lamar Jackson's a sophomore. We got a lot of young guys on our team that are going to be back for the next year-ish. Depends on what they decide to do after their junior year. But I'm excited about Louisville going forward. So let's jump on into some games around the country, AC. Enough talking about the loss. I don't like it, but I think we covered it thorough enough.
Yeah.
So I'm going to kind of mix it up a little bit, keep everybody off balance, but we're going to start with Alabama. I try to avoid the SEC as much as I can because everybody else likes to talk about them and it drives me nuts. But Alabama-Tennessee is the best game on the football schedule this weekend. So Alabama's favored by 13. It's at Tennessee. Tennessee finally ran out of that Rocky Top luck last week. But still, they had 7 lost turnovers and took A&M to overtime. How do you have 7 lost possessions on turnovers and still get the other team to overtime?
Tennessee's got a lot of athletes. So
yeah, Kamara, that running back, Alvin Kamara, I think is his name. That guy is really, really, really good. And Tennessee better try to keep the ball in his hands. However, Saban and those guys are probably going to key on him because he really is a good player. But Alabama's favored by 13. And you know what? I don't like to pick against Alabama. I like to, but I'm going to be smart about it. I'm going to take Alabama to 13 and think they're going to cover Tennessee. I think that loss to Tennessee crushed them because they've been coming back. Now, you remember last year, they lost all those close games. Remember, Tennessee lost every single one of those close games. But they're a year older, more mature, and they have turned it around this year. But you know what? They will fall behind Alabama. They won't catch them, and Alabama's going to win by more than 2 scores. So I'll take Alabama.
Well, JP, I agree with you this time.
All right,
Alabama's just too experienced.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee, I think they'll have some letdowns because of that loss last week. They'll start to doubt themselves, and they are playing Alabama. Mm-hmm. So, I don't think I think Nick Saban's getting things revved up, and Bama beats them.
Okay, I agree. So, I say Alabama-Tennessee is a premier game. I'm a little ahead of myself because it's not. I forgot. Ohio State has to go to Wisconsin. Now, I know how you feel about the Big Ten other than Michigan. But you know what? You got number 2 versus number 8. Yeah. I told you now I'm buying Bucky Badger. But I said that when they killed Michigan State. But Michigan State
sucks.
Sucks. They laid an egg last week. So I don't know now. I mean, I thought maybe drinking the Madison Kool-Aid was a good idea, but I'm not sure now.
They lost to Michigan, 14-0, Wisconsin. So, we'll see. Ohio State's, they're
favored by 11.
Yes.
I know. So I'm going to Wisconsin, jump around, Madison. You better not let me down. I'm going to take Wisconsin in the 11 points. I'm going to go with Wisconsin.
Wow. I know that's not easy for you. So,
no.
Ohio State, better athletes, better offense, better defense. Ohio State wins.
Okay. It'll be interesting. And by the way, I'm going to go back and to our previous episodes and see how we're doing. I know people have been asking us what's our record, and I'll go back and track that. So next week we'll have a record and we'll keep score of that stuff. So you might be. So Western Michigan, I'll throw you off a little bit here. Western Michigan and Akron.
All right, the MAC.
The MAC. Western Michigan, I think it's the first time they've ever been ranked, so we're going to give them a little love on this show. So the Broncos are favored by 12 against the Akron Zips. The game is at Akron.
Yeah.
And I'll be quite honest with you. I think all this talk about them being ranked for the first time is going to go to their head. I don't know if Akron's going to win, but I'm going to take Akron in the 12 points here.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, Akron, I think they beat the heck out of Marshall a couple weeks ago. So
Yeah.
Scored 63 points on them.
That's right. That's right.
So, but
the week before we played them, right?
That's right. That's right. I got a niece, Deja Pryor, who's at Western Michigan. So I'm going to give her some love. Those Broncos beat Akron.
Okay. Well, I'm sure you're only doing that because of your niece, but we'll see what happens.
They're a good team.
Yeah, they are okay. I mean, they're ranked, so they're not bad. All right, so NC State and Clemson. So Clemson's favored by 18. Dorn this is what his second or third year there at NC State. He seems to be building a pretty good thing down there. However, Clemson understands what they have to do to finish the season, and that is they have to win out. Of course, we hope they win out too. So I hope they just blow everybody else out because that helps our strength of schedule.
Yeah.
And I am going to take Clemson and the 18 points. They're favored by 18, but I think Clemson's going to win. I think
Are they playing at Clemson?
They're playing at Clemson, yes.
Yeah. Clemson wins.
Okay. All right, so we're in agreement there. So I do want to talk about a couple things, AC. I'm going to throw a little wrinkle in the system here. And you mentioned it while we were off camera and, amongst our crowd here that are watching us tape the show. My Ducks, my Oregon Ducks. Mike, my buddy, I'm telling you, man, I don't know what to say, but UW just destroyed that. I was so far off on it. 70 on the Ducks at Eugene. I was embarrassed. I'm still embarrassed. I know he was embarrassed because he was texting me during the game.
He used to be a Ducks fan.
No, I'm still a Ducks fan. But
he jumped off from the last couple
couple
weeks.
Injuries have killed that team, and they're all young. So they're all like freshmen. They got to plug in all these young guys.
They still need a quarterback.
Yeah, Pro Cup or whatever his name is, a fifth-year transfer coming in. But I tell you, I don't know what to say. And then Christian, I still love you, my man. You're my guy. But doggone.
Wow.
Stanford got dominated last week by Washington State. I'm way off on that game, too. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you can't get any worse than when I picked those two games.
I mean, the Pac-10 has fallen off. I mean, it's one, maybe two teams, and, everybody else is not doing very well.
So, Chris Peterson has got Washington playing well,
Oh,
obviously.
He's one heck of a coach.
He is.
Yeah.
He is one heck of a coach. And they got a golden child with that guy because he is really, really good. Of course, we both hope that they lose because I don't want an undefeated Pac-12 team being in the national championship or the playoff. And,
Right.
I just think they'd get steamrolled by anybody. Well, I don't know. I say that, but they're good. I mean, they're good. I'm embarrassed about my two picks last week, taking Stanford and my Ducks. We didn't take the Ducks last week, but goodness gracious. Hopefully they turn that around because I don't want to listen to you all the rest of the season. Tell me about.
It's okay, JP.
Well, I know I just need that pat on my back, I guess. So anyway, we're going to turn to this Friday night's game. AC Louisville's got Duke. I think Louisville is going to be looking to bounce back. Obviously, we had a week off. Good or bad, I'm not sure. Bye weeks, what do you think?
I think our guys have needed to break. I think they need it, especially after Clemson game. We come in, we get Duke. Not the same type of game, but at least we get to go out and hit somebody else. I guarantee you there's been a few fights at practice this week.